come this morning to tell you before we get on the road to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, God said, let it go. The first reason why you should let it go is because it causes more pain to you than your enemy. I was reading a couple of months ago, probably about the early part of this year. There was a football player down at Florida International University, and he played football, and him and one of his teammates got into an altercation over a female. Amen. You got to watch that, but we're going to keep going. And they had got into an altercation, and the altercation carried over to after they had left the weight room. And so one of the teammates, he decides to go up to the young man, and he stabs him. And as the player, his teammate, is lying on the ground, dying, he says, this is what you get. You deserved it, as he's dying. And so the young man ends up dying, and the community, the college community, serves as a memorial service for him, has a funeral for him. And everyone is expecting the family to exuberate hate, to say how much they dislike this young man for killing their child. But it messed me up because the family, as the father stood to the podium, he says, the family holds no ill will towards anyone. It was God's will, nobody's to blame. That messed me up because oftentimes when we wrestle with the will of God, it's all right when it involves blessings, but let it involve death. It's all right when God's talking about he's going to bless you. We love the will of God then, but what happens when we can't comprehend the fact that God is saying death is involved in this thing? And here it is, the family, you would think that they will hurl out hate and say, we don't like him, you should kill him, you should destroy him for what he did to our child. But the father stands boldly, says, it's not nobody to blame. It's the will of God. I think they recognize that in hating the killer, it wouldn't bring back their child. In hating the killer, it wouldn't roll back the hands of time and cause their child to get up. So they understood we got to move on. We got to keep going. We got to keep pressing. I remind you this morning, you better let it go because ultimately you want God to forgive you. Oh, come on, don't sit there like you, because see, the thing is, we talk about what people have done to us, but what have you done? Uh-oh, I done reached a bump in the road. What have you done? Because I'm pretty sure there's some stuff that you've done. I'm pretty sure there's some things that you've said out of your, come on. I'm pretty sure there's some curse words you said. I'm pretty sure there's some folk that you done told off. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's some folk that you talked about behind their back. I'm pretty sure. And how are you so sure, Minister Griffin? Because there's some stuff that I did wrong. And so you ultimately got to forgive because you want God to forgive you. Matthew 6 and 12. I want someone to turn there real quick. Matthew 6 and 12. Come on. As Pastor would say, we're going to exercise our Bible. It says, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Uh-oh, somebody missed that. I got to read it again. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And forgive us our debts. What that is saying is you've done some wrong. If you hadn't done no wrong, then there would be no need for you to ask for forgiveness, would there? But the key to this thing, because in this model prayer, the person that's talking is asking God for forgiveness, but he's saying only if we forgive those who've wronged us. I've wronged, but I got to forgive those who have wronged me. And a lot of times we don't want to forgive those who have done us wrong and expect God to forgive us knowing that we've done wrong ourselves. This messes me up, because we'll sit as if we're holier than thou and expect God to forgive us, but yet and still we won't forgive nobody. We won't forgive nobody, but expect God to forgive us. We'll hold that stuff in our spirit, hold it in our heart, hold it within us, but yet and still we won't forgive nobody. And we'll beg God all night on the floor, oh, Lord, forgive me. Jesus, I didn't mean to do it. But yet and still, you won't forgive. You won't forgive. Something that happened 5 years ago, still holding on to it. Something that happened yesterday, still holding. Something that might have happened a few minutes ago, still holding on to it. And perhaps you can't get what God is trying to get you because you're holding on to some stuff. And we want to go to a higher level. You know, we want to go higher in God. We want to reach up and, you know, all that blessing stuff and get all that stuff. But yet and still, we don't want to forgive nobody. Yet and still, we don't want to forgive nobody and expect God to forgive us.